Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, let's understand an important Spring Boot interview question. The question is, what are bean scopes in Spring? Bean scopes defines how long a Spring bean lives and how many instances of that bean Spring creates. Spring provides 6 commonly discussed bean scopes. Let's understand each one with a simple explanation. First is Singleton. Singleton is the default scope in Spring. We can define it using @scope annotation with the value Singleton. In Singleton scope, Spring creates only one instance of the bean per Spring IOC container. So whenever the same bean is requested, Spring returns the same instance. For Singleton beans, the instance is normally created when the Spring container starts, if the bean is configured for eager initialization. So remember, Singleton is one instance per Spring container. Second is prototype scope. We can define it using @scope annotation with the value prototype. Here, Spring creates a new instance every time the bean is requested from the container. So if the bean is requested 3 times, Spring can create 3 different instances. The important point is new instance every time the bean is requested. Next, third is request scope. We use @request scope. @request scope is mainly used in web applications. So if two different HTTP requests come to the application, each request its own bean instance. So instance creates at the beginning of each HTTP request. So remember, request is one instance per one HTTP request. Fourth is session scope. We use @session scope. This is also used in web applications. Spring creates one bean instance for each HTTP session. So multiple requests from the same user session can use the same bean instance, but a different HTTP session gets a different instance. So instance is creating when a new session is created. Remember, one instance per HTTP session. Fifth is application scope. We use @application scope. This creates one bean instance per ServletContext, which represents the web application. So the bean is shared across the application within that ServletContext. So instance is created when the application starts. So remember, application scope is one instance per ServletContext. And finally, we have WebSocket scope. We can define using @scope annotation with the value WebSocket. This scope is used with WebSocket based application. Spring creates one bean instance for each WebSocket session. So remember, WebSocket is one instance per WebSocket session. So this is simple explanation of all 6 bean scopes in Spring. Let's quickly revise all 6 once. Singleton is one instance per Spring IOC container. Prototype is new instance per every time the bean is requested. Request is one instance per HTTP request. Session is one instance per HTTP session. Application is one instance per ServletContext. WebSocket is one instance per WebSocket session. And the most interview point is Singleton scope. So Singleton scope is default bean scope in Spring. That's it for Spring bean scopes. If you found this video is helpful, please subscribe my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram for more Java full stack real-time interview questions. Thank you.